What's up, fellas? So I had a loyal patron supporter that wanted to know, do I still get my ass licked? And the answer to that is no, guys. And it was a good question because, I hadn't even thought about it, but I hadn't got my ass licked in, probably going on 2 years now. And I just hadn't even thought about it, right? And, to suck a whole lot of dick. Well, whether women are acting up or not, they still gonna suck a whole lot of dick, right? I just changed it from the sweet taste of ass to suck a whole lot of dick because, believe it or not, YouTube will let me get away with saying suck a whole lot of dick without demonetizing the video. But every video I reference the sweet taste of ass, they'll demonetize that video, which is crazy, right? So somebody at YouTube will say, oh, I gotta demonetize this video because he's talking about getting his ass licked. But this video over here where he's talking about sucking a whole lot of dick, that's okay. That's okay. We can let. So that shit was baffling to me, but so that's why I switched it from that because girls, they gonna suck a whole lot of dick regardless, right? It don't even make no difference, good or bad, pull back or not. You gonna suck a whole. If you deal with me, you gonna suck a whole lot of dick. That's just the way it go. But getting back to his question. Of getting my ass licked, no, guys, I haven't, and I'm just gonna take the blame for this, right? Because what would happen, guys, if all you guys who are new and you maybe you watch 3 videos and then you don't know, or maybe you didn't watch a lot of my old videos, but basically what would happen was girls would act up or pull back, right? And then when they showed weakness and they called me, you was getting a sweet taste of ass. Okay, you had to be punished. I don't have that issue with women no more, and I came up with a few reasons why. So I wanted to, because I'm taking the blame for me actually having to have girls lick my ass. It was on me. Okay, and these are the reasons why. Number one, guys, why I don't have to have girls lick my ass no more, which means that they don't act up, pull back, or I have to stop fucking with them until they come back and make it up to me. All right. Number one, right now my masculine frame is always on point. Okay, back in the day, what I would do was, and this is what I've been trying to tell you guys from the get-go for all you wannabe comedians out there. I'm naturally funny. What I would do with girls is sometimes I would enter that comedian frame, right? Where I want to be funny and joke. And I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, for all you guys who want to say fuck the masculine frame and you want to, say little quirky, funny shit and stuff like that, I am telling you guys I've done that. And I'm telling you the masculine frame gets you laid more than that making girls laugh. Yes, you will get laid making girls laugh. I made girls laugh and got laid. I am telling you the respect factor and the attraction factor goes better with the masculine frame. So with the masculine frame, you don't have the pullbacks. With the comedy guy, being a funny guy, trying to make them laugh and stuff like that, and you can still make them, say something funny in a masculine frame. Don't get me wrong. I just used to go overboard with it sometimes, right, and leave that masculine frame. But the difference is, guys, when you go in that comedian stage, you're going to notice a whole lot of masculine energy from women. And it comes from that comedian frame doesn't bring the respect of that masculine frame. It's like to women, it comes across as weakness. And any of you guys who deal with women, you would know that it's always this constant tug of war for leverage in the relationship. It's just this natural, constant, always going on, constant tug of war for leverage. Okay? And so when you hold that masculine frame, you essentially make women stop trying to get that leverage because the respect is there. But when you go into that comedy frame, what happens is you'll notice women do this little pullback. They sense weakness. And what ends up happening is they'll pull back or they'll do some goofier shit, whatever. They do some stupid shit, right? And so then you will always have to make them come back and lick your ass. Now, or whatever you guys want to do, right? Maybe you ain't into that. Maybe you want to make them suck a whole lot of dick, or whatever you decide to come up with, right? You know, guys want me to write a Bible on what to do when girls act up. Man, just make her clean up your house in a fucking her panties or butt naked or something. Goddamn, guys need a instruction for every goddamn thing. Guys literally want me to come up, make a video on ways to punish women. That man, just think of some shit. God damn. All right, but getting back to the point, guys, is so when women pull back like that, what would happen is some wouldn't come back, but some would. And when they do, I would do that. Now, I don't do that no more because now my masculine frame is always on point. I no longer I never enter that comedian stage no more with women. It's one of those things where it's just trial and error, and I seen it doesn't work. I was taught, just like you guys was taught, that hey, the way to get women is to make them laugh and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Making women laugh is the fastest way to get your ass in the friend zone. That's what I found out. Yes, I could be with the girls I fool with now, and yes, I can make them laugh, but it has to be in a masculine frame. I cannot enter a full-blown Kevin Hart, Chris Rock frame where I'm just trying to be a comedian. That does not work with women on a respect level. All right, it just doesn't work. You're gonna see some hard-headedness going on right there with the pullback. So by me maintaining that masculine frame, I don't get women trying to act hard-headed no more. So that's one reason why they don't have to lick my ass anymore. Number two, and this is a big one, underrated, very underrated, guys. My purpose is on point. Do y'all guys get that? So any of you guys, y'all guys been following me a while. I tell you I was in the basement. What would happen, guys, when you're not doing too well? Women, this hypergamy that's in them, what would happen is they get the notion that they're underselling themselves, that they can do better. So what would happen, guys, for all you guys who don't know, unless the attachment is built, if you're a guy who don't make no money or anything like that, anytime she encounters a guy that's successful, she will start dating him. And then you become on the back burner. And that would happen to me a lot when I was in that basement. What would happen was I'd be dating women, things be going fine, and I just knew, I said, okay, she probably met somebody else, probably a dude who had a better car than me, probably a dude who dressed better than me, a guy who had his career going. And what would happen is her hypergamous nature had to see what else was there. And what would happen is sometimes, even though he had more, shit than me, what would happen is, and this is why I try to tell you guys, confidence and charisma comes before that materialism bullshit, unless she's entered that, relationship stage where she's going to value that stuff over, the charisma and confidence. When a woman enters that stage of maturity where she just gets to the point to where she want a family and she want a guy that can provide for that family, that's the only time it's going to come before that confidence and charisma bullshit. But the other 80% of women in the world, 90% of the women in the world, confidence will win out. So what would happen is women would go date these guys, and then maybe the guy was a little shaky in the confidence, or he was a lame. You get what I'm saying? And so then they would come back. And I knew what hadn't happened, right? Oh, your boy, your baller, he ain't work out like you thought he was. And So now you know what you finna do, right? You get the sweet taste of ass. By me being on my purpose now and being a successful guy, I don't have to worry about that no more. Okay, so for all you guys, and for all you guys to say, well, AMS, she still can meet a guy that makes, more money than you. Guys, you guys must understand that once you get to a certain point, it really don't matter. Do y'all guys understand? Grasp what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is the difference between a guy who will make 10 million a year and the guy who will make $1 million a year. I mean, now we pinching pennies, right? I mean, how much dumb shit do you need? So at some point, it really don't matter. So for all you guys out there want to be a lawyer or something like that, and you're gonna make 300 grand a year or whatever, do it really matter if she run into a guy that makes $1 million? I mean, it ain't really nothing that you can't buy with 300,000 that a guy who makes $1 million could buy, unless we're just talking about ridiculous dumb shit, right? But the security is there. And I'm not saying that a woman won't choose a guy that makes $1 million over you or whatever, but it's just not that big a deal. It gets to a point to where it just really don't fucking matter, right? I mean, let's say you're a guy on a job and you love the job you're at and you make $1 million, right? But another job you don't quite sure know if you'll like the job, but they might want to pay you $2 million. You really gonna want to see what that job is, because at that point you like, okay, what is my happiness worth? You guys get what I'm saying? Now, if you make 30 grand a year and somebody want to pay you $1 million, you really won't give a fuck what the job is. You wouldn't give a fuck if you had to stay on the side of the highway in a fucking chicken suit all day with a sign saying cluck, cluck, cluck. That is such an extreme difference in money that you really wouldn't give a fuck what that job said you had to do ethically. You would do it because but if you're talking about $1 million to $2 million, you're like, I need to really see what that job is. Because if it's some shit I don't like, what is my happiness worth? And that's the way it works with women, right? To where it gets to a point to where, okay, the security is there. Anything over that is just dumb shit. And that's the thing. So by me being on my purpose, not saying that it excludes, that don't mean that she still couldn't meet a guy that makes 50 million a year, basketball player. I get all that. But let's just be real. What we talking about, the 1% of people in the world? So what's the odds of meeting that? So by you being on your purpose, I was making 30 grand a year in New York as a bouncer. You can meet a whole bunch of guys that make 6 figures, make 100 grand a year. Y'all guys see that? So the point I'm trying to make by me being on my purpose, I don't have all these pullbacks from women who go and meet higher value men than me. So they want to see where it goes. And then if that flames out, then they want to bring their ass back to me after that done flamed out. So that's one reason I don't have women pulling back for that hypergamy no more, because I'm on my purpose. So for all you guys that are on your purpose, as long as you have the confidence, you will notice that you don't get those pullbacks like you used to back in the day. You used to always get them pullbacks when you was broke. Now that you got your shit together, you don't really see that. And that's because the hypergamous nature of females now she don't have to go constantly feel like I need to get a high value man. I need to get a high value man. I need to get a high value man. That's the thing of that. So by me being on my purpose, I don't have a lot of women pulling back. Therefore, I don't have a lot of women that has to come back and lick my ass. You're not finna go over here and play around with a dude that you think makes more money than me. Play around with him. You still send me a little text here and now, but you won't set a date or anything like that. You want to see you over here playing around with him. Then 2 months down the road or a month down the road, he ain't what you thought he was, and now you want to bring your ass back to me. Oh, hell no. No. You're going to get the sweet taste of ass. All right. The next one, guys. I don't date sexy, masculine women anymore. So back in my day, when you're a low value man, right? Like I used to be without, when I say low value man, guys, I don't talk about money and stuff like that. I'm talking about have a lot of free time on your hand. All right. Your time is easily available. You got time all day. So when I was a low value man, what would happen is I would take a chance with dating these type of women. She's sexy, but she's masculine, and for all you guys wondering what's the difference? Well, the thing is, you got these women who feel like they're the woman is the alpha in the relationship because she got a vagina, and the men should be subservient to them. And back in my day when I was a low value man, I would take my chances because, hey, what else I got to do, right? I would take my chances with going and trying to see, can I tame her? I don't have time to tame bitches no more. Now, every now and then I would tame one. But guess what happens when you date a masculine woman like this who thinks like that, right? Even when you tame her, the struggle never ends. Never. Even when you think, I had this one girl, she was cool. She had this little masculine in it. When I say masculine, guys, I don't really mean like, rah, rah, rah. I just mean masculine as in she think women are superior to men. That's what I mean. She thought men should be subservient to her. And what would happen is, even if I tamed them, they would just constantly always try to pull back. It's just always this constant tug of war. And then I would make them lick my ass, and then they'll do it again. So me now, I don't date those type of chicks because I don't have time. So one of the benefits of being a high value man, guys, is you really narrow the field on who you would even go with. When I was a low value man, y'all guys want to know what I used to do? So I would get online, right? And I would date these women. And what would happen, since I had so much free time on my hand, is that I would even go out and date women who I wasn't quite sure if she looked good or not, right? Because they had the angles, you know, doing like this, that, and other. And I'd be looking at the pictures like a fucking scientist. Got so much free time on my hand. And I would end up going out on some of these dates with women who weren't even attractive. Them fooled me with the filters or the angles and stuff like this right here. Me being high value now, unless I distinctively, and I try not to use online dating, but you know, if a girl winks at me or something on there, I still will. But unless I get a clear description on your pictures, if you're doing anything that's trying to hide blubber or fat, me being a high value man, I don't have time for that crap no more, period. So as being a high value man with limited time, it takes all the guessing and risk out of my dating. So when I talk to women on the phone, and I talk to them, I don't text dates. I talk to them because I want to get an idea of how, is she masculine, what she thinks. That's why I tell you guys to call these girls. Do not set up a date doing text. You can after the first date, but that first date, you need to kind of know what you're going on. If you're a high value man, if you're a low value man, you got all the time to date any type of woman, right? But me, if I ain't got no clear, distinct pictures on what you look like, if I ain't got a good idea on where your head is, as far as, do you think I should be a servant to you? We not even going out. All right, guys. So that is an issue that being a high value man, I don't tolerate that no more. All these masculine women who got that mindset, I don't even want to deal with it no more, period. So by me not dealing with those type of women, I no longer have to make them come back and lick my ass when they would pull back. Because if I dated 10 of them, I probably could tame one of these sexy masculine motherfuckers, right? They just so fucking masculine. I could tame one, right? And she still, even after I made her come back and lick my ass, she would pull back again. It was constant. It's like they was determined to get me attached. Okay? All right. Next, I don't date women with low interest anymore. So if y'all guys want to know, back in the day when I was a low value man, what would happen was, even if a woman sounded like she had lukewarm interest or something like this, or wouldn't set a date, like I told you guys when I had all this free time on my hand, if a girl wouldn't set a date or tell you we'll see and all this, I would just hit them up in 3 or 4 weeks again. I would try again. All the things I was telling y'all guys in the other video, when I was a low value man and had abundance of time on my hand, I would try again in about a month. And every now and then I would get one on a date. Well, guess what happens when you go out with these low interest women, right? You tame one, but guess what happens, right? As soon as she meets somebody else that she got higher interest in, physically or personality wise or whatever, more compatibility with, guess what happened to you? You get pushed to the bottom. So you just something to do. We guys do that shit too. We meet women that's maybe a 7, 7.5, and we fucking them. Then we fuck around, we meet a 9 or a 10. What you do to 7.5? You kind of put on the back burner. Women do that same thing. So what would happen is I'll be dating these women who really didn't have high interest in me, and maybe I can raise it up to where I can fuck, right, to like a 7 or 8. Let's just say a 8. But then she meet this guy or a couple of guys that she finds more attractive, more appealing, more compatibility with, more interest with than me. Guess what she would do to me? She would pull back. Do y'all guys get what I'm saying? She would pull back. Like I same thing with the money. That shit fizzles out. You come back over here, you're going to get the sweet taste of ass. I no longer date low interest women. Not for that. I don't have time. I don't have time to raise your interest no more. Being a high value man has killed a lot of the shit I used to do. I just don't have time to do it anymore. I just don't have time to risk my time to go out with a woman with low interest for 3 days just for her to say, you know, I like to take my time. I don't have time for that. Right. So when I see that from a woman, I just don't date them anymore. Not because I'm trying to be big headed stubborn. I just don't have time. OK, guys, if you guys are a high value man, right, and you got a solid 2 to 3 girl rotation, do you have time for this bullshit? Think about it. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the we'll see no more. And I know some of you guys are just starting out and stuff like that. And right now you might have time for that. I don't have time for that. So therefore, me not dealing with low interest women, nobody has to get the sweet taste of ass. Next, I don't date as many women. All right. Now, as you guys might know, I tell you guys this all the time, when I actually slept with more women as a low value man than I do now. Well, coincidentally, the more women you date, the more bullshit you're going to deal with. By me not dealing with dating that many women like that no more, I don't have all this constant revolving door dealing with women who got low interest, women who are masculine. I just don't have time for it. So therefore, I don't have as many women trying to pull back or losing interest or whatever the fuck going on through women's head that particular day. So I just don't date as many women no more. And I really don't care to ever do it again because I date my fucking purpose. You do what the fuck you want to do. All right. Next, I don't date women who think they're the prize. So for all you guys that are wondering what I mean by this, these are some, you know what? You have some women who are so bold, they would tell you this: I'm the prize and a man should pursue me. Okay. But for the ones that are not bold enough to just outright tell you that, what you would have is you would have these women who would do no pursuit. I do not date women who think they're too good to pursue me. That don't mean you got to hit me up and say, hey, are you free Saturday night? No. Good morning. How's your day going? Ta-da! Is that too much? I didn't say you got to call me and set a date. Good morning. How was your weekend? I don't date women who think they're the prize anymore, who think that I'm lucky to get her on a date. I don't date them. If I get any hint of that, I'm out. I don't have time. Right now, just to be honest with you guys, with my purpose and everything I'm doing, got going on, and I got a good solid 2-girl rotation with a prospect, I just don't have time for frivolous bullshit. I just don't. Me personally, I prefer to keep my Monday through Thursday free, right? Preferably, all right? Now, my Sunday girl, I do see her on Wednesday too because she's very feminine. She does everything right. And I rewarded her because she wanted more time. So fine. She hasn't acted up. You keep your 2 days a week. But preferably, I like to keep my week Monday through Thursday, work, half a day Friday, and possibly a date on Friday night. And then I got my 2 girls on the weekend. That don't leave a lot of time for women who think they're the prize. So let me get this straight. I got 2 women who are doing everything right, who treat me like I'm the prize. And you think I got time for this shit? You think I got time for a woman who's going to sit back for the next 2 months and think I'm going to sit here and do all the pursuing? You lost your motherfucking mind. So I no longer date women with that mindset. I ain't saying I got to be the prize. We both going to be the goddamn prize. Now, I think in my mind I'm the prize, but I don't expect you to do everything either. I will text and all this other stuff, to set up dates and stuff like that till the attachment is born. Made, by the way, guys. Once the attachment, you're going to do everything. Then I am the prize. 24/7, I'm the prize then. But up until that point, I will do some pursuing. A little. Okay, guys? So I don't date women with that mindset. Next. And this is on me. I don't get comfortable anymore. So what would happen, guys, is back in the day, even with the infamous Sunday chick, y'all remember the infamous Sunday chick I used to always reference, I just stopped dating her. The last year, stop dating her. Okay? Don't stop dating your woman. What ends up happening is it gets boring, and so you can suffer a little pullback because you're getting too routine, you're getting too boring. When your woman is with you, make sure that it's an experience. You won't have to worry about no pullback. It ain't got to be going to the 5-star restaurant. Now, don't get started where you're putting out your credit card and you feel like, oh, I got to take out and spend $300. No, just make sure whatever you're doing, whether it's a walk in the park with a bottle of wine, make sure that you're giving her an experience. You give her an experience, you never have to worry about a pullback. I don't have pullbacks no more. That way nobody don't have to lick my ass no more. Do y'all guys understand that? I always stay dating my women. I've learned it doesn't work. Do not stop dating your women, ever. So I don't get comfortable no more to where I just think like, oh, we're gonna sit in here and watch the Duke of Hazzard reruns. That's stupid. Okay, so I just always stay dating my women. We always go out. We always doing something. I don't fall into that routine that I've done in the past. Okay, what ends up happening is this is what men end up doing, right? We end up, doing all these fun things at the beginning. All right, some of it costs money, some of it don't. But what ends up happening is we feel like we gotta, and now I don't want to spend shit. So even if it was $40, $50, $100, $200, whatever, you feel like you done it, you gotta now. So I don't want to spend shit. You can't get like that, guys. You cannot start getting cheap instead. And this is not about spending money and stuff. I tell you what, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. If you want to have a constant revolving door, you do that. All right. I'm not about that shit. If you want to meet a woman that's all into you, fall into a routine, starts laying in your bedroom, watching TV and thinking she ain't going to get bored in a couple weeks, you have at it. I've done that. I'm telling you, it don't work. Do what the fuck you want to do. I'm not finna beg you motherfuckers. Y'all grown ass men. All right. The last one, guys, would be I keep the sexual energy. No friendly roommate vibe. So what would happen back in the day, and I'm not talking about the comedian part. I'm just talking about where I don't bring the sexual intensity. All right. Where that sexual charisma. And the reason y'all guys wonder how that happens is, bringing that sexual intensity is an effort. It's easy to bring that friendly vibe, right? Like that homeboy vibe. That sexual intensity actually requires effort, okay? And so that what actually, like for some women, it's actually an effort for them to be submissive. All right, nothing wrong with that, right? Because we growing up in a society today where being submissive is a bad thing, so it requires effort to be submissive. All right. The same thing, or effort for her appearance. It requires effort for men to bring that sexual intensity. So what ends up happening is you just fall into that friendly vibe because it's easy, and you're not putting that effort forward. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're looking deep in her eyes and you're seducing her, and we just stop doing that because that requires effort. So I don't do that no more. I never take that for granted no more. I never forget the seduction process. We do it very good at the beginning of the relationship because we're trying to get some ass. Then 6 months in, some of you guys sooner than that, we fall into this mode to where we don't want to do that no more. We just like, oh, take your clothes off and let's fuck. It's easy to do that. It actually requires effort to go into that whole seduction process. Well, it's just easier to just pull her panties off and start fucking her. Okay, guys, I don't do that anymore. I've been guilty of that. I don't do that anymore. Okay, guys. So always keep that sexual energy. All right. So I'm going to say this, guys, even with all this said and done, still, until you guys master all that, I'm 40 years old. I'm finna be 41 this year. It took me a long time to get to this point. So I don't expect any of you guys to master this stuff in 3 weeks. All right. So the rule's still the same. When a woman pulls back and she ghosts or leave or whatever, when she comes back, she still has to be punished. If you're not into licking a whole lot of ass or sucking a whole lot of dick, whatever you decide, I'm not finna create a fucking pamphlet on what to do when a woman fucking acts up. You think of something. Clean up your house in the fucking panties. I don't give a fuck. Clean up the house in some fucking skates for all I fucking care. But the rule still, all I'm saying is I no longer have that issue out of women. That don't mean that sometime in the future I might not have it again. As of right now, the last couple of years, I really haven't had that issue with women as far as pulling back and having to come back and lick my ass and all that other shit. All right. But the rules still apply. But we men have to take accountability for how women act. Because when you on point, what I've seen in my life, women will be on point. When you not on point, when you don't have that sexual energy, when you're not on your purpose, women will always pull back because they always weighing their options. Okay. As me now, I don't date masculine women. I don't date women who got low interest in me. I don't date women who think that they're the prize and don't got to do no pursuing. That don't work for me. Because why would I do that when I got two women that worship the ground I walk on? All right. Do what you want. All right, guys. I'll get back with you guys later. What's up, fellas? So took one of my chicks out to Port Calvin's this past Saturday. And this the funny thing about these restaurants. Now, this restaurant here was a cheaper restaurant, but the food was just as good. I wouldn't put it ahead of Capitol Grill, but it's right on that next tier below Capitol Grill, and the price is half the price. All right, so if you go to Capitol Grill, be prepared to spend a couple $100s if you get a couple of drinks. I think this ticket here was a little over like $125. So big difference in the price, guys. So make sure if you're ever in Atlanta, make sure you check out Poor Cabins. I liked it. Okay, guys, on Sunday, I went to Crab 404. All right, this is also another little cheap spot. I like it, very good drinks, but I was taking it easy. Hey, listen, I got to take a break from them fucking 5-star restaurants sometimes. And this food here is just as good, guy, with the lobster. Oh yeah, that's nice too. But check it out if you're ever in Atlanta, guys. Crab 404.